Hi guys, and welcome to Total Technik. In today's video we're going to be showing you how to remove the main door wiring loom. This is the loom that actually comes from the hinge side of the car here. It comes out of the chassis and obviously into the door itself. So this is the main door wiring loom we're going to be looking at today for the A6, S6 and RS6 C5. So let's take a look. So we've removed the main door card panel, as you can see here, which gives you the access to the main wiring loom. If we have a quick look at it, this might be useful just to reference back to. The end of the wiring loom is on the door lock mechanism here. This electrical plug here, and you can see we basically kind of follow this this wire along the car. Branches off. These are the ones you would have disconnected when you remove your door card. We've got one electrical connector that runs down to the electric window motor. And there you can see the whole loom. Again, there's the connectors for the back of the door card, and the whole loom disappears off behind the door, where it then passes through the rubber gasket here into the body of the car here. So that's kind of the basics of how it works. So we'll do this step by step, one connector at a time, and we'll get it removed. So first of all, for the connector for the door lock mechanism here. This is a normal one. This normal Audi's type connector. It does have a little tab on the back of it, which is almost the same as the one you've got on your electric window motor. So if you need to reference that, you can. It depends what side of the car you're working on. I'm working on the right hand side of the car, so this is the catch is facing away from me, which makes it a little bit more tricky. If you're working on the opposite side of the car, what you'll find is it's got the same loom. This will be the other way around, so your catch is right there at the front where you can access it dead easy. So it's a little bit more difficult having it at the back, but this is the first one to get disconnected. So you can see it's a little bit awkward to kind of get a tool in and get a bit of a twist on it, but with a little bit of patience you should get it off, no problem. So next we come down to this white connector. You can either spend a few minutes kind of pushing this in from the back, or as you can see here, this automotive tape's already pretty rotten, so I'm just going to get rid of that. You can buy this automotive tape very cheaply on eBay if you need more of that, but that's where that goes. So you can either, like I say, you can either press that out from the rear. Sometimes it can be a bit fiddly, or if you've got the tape to replace it, just get rid of that and put new stuff on. Okay, next we've got a cable tie. I don't think that's Audi factory spec. They have a different type of connector, more like the one you can just see poking out the back there. But irrespective, if you've got any cable ties or proper cable ties along the length of this, obviously these need to be removed as you go. So to remove the electrical connector from the electric window motor here, you see we've got a little tab that you just push in there. You've actually got the same on the rear on this one. So you've got to pinch those two together. Wiggle the whole thing, and that connector will come free like so. So we're now at a stage where the actual loom itself is loose and ready to go. So what we're going to do next, the next stage, is we're going to attack this kind of rubber seal here and get that out of the way. So I'm going to attack the car end of it first. Just going to do this with something nice and blunt and plastic, such as a trim tool. You don't want to use something sharp, because if you slip you can accidentally poke a hole through this, and obviously you lose your weather seal. So basically this rubber sits in a plastic frame. So what I'm going to try and do is just separate the two, like so. Once you've got it started, the whole thing will come off quite easily. So as you can see, it's just it's a little lip on the rubber there, and the little lip just sits in this groove on this plastic frame. So all I've done is just separated the two. So that's that done. So next up, I'm going to do the same thing, but on the door side, as it were. Now you have to reach onto the inside of the door, and what you'll feel there, that's quite tight, unfortunately, to get your hand in there. But you'll feel the plastic frame. And if you have a little feel around it, what you'll feel is it's got kind of 4 tabs on it, obviously top, bottom, left and right, as it were. So you should feel that. And all you've got to do is, if you attack the one that's nearest to you first, so I'm just pushing that in behind the door here, and just start to get it going. And then often if you're lucky, which I am on this one I think. That'll be enough to get you started. Like so. There it comes. You just kind of work all the way around it, and then there you can see that that one's removed as well. So this is a shot from the corner of the footwell, and as you can see what we've got on the inside here, there's actually a panel that covers this. We've just taken this out, and it takes 30 seconds or so. If you're unsure how to do it, again I'll add a link for you so you can check that video out if you're unsure how to do it, but very easy. But basically if you look on the inside here, you see we've got a cable tie, and just behind that cable tie there, see we've got this foam kind of plug here, and we've got some cables that run through the centre of that plug. Basically we're going to pop this plug out in a minute, and this plug basically goes up through the door and kind of comes out into the main kind of wiring loom area. It will make sense when you look at it, but literally this is how the cables get into the actual chassis of the car, is through this plug here. So let's get that removed. So with that plastic plug out of the way, you can kind of get a feel for what the cables are doing and what connectors they're connected to. Remember as well is you've actually got a smaller cable. Hopefully you can just see that one there. Obviously that's for the mirror control there, so that's obviously not part of the loom for the door. You see the bigger one here comes in. What you want to do, depends on what kind of options and stuff you've got fitted to your car, but hopefully your connectors will be very similar to this. But if you just have a look, you can see that the cable distinctly splits into two sections there. Follow each of those sections one by one. You can see that all of those wires, for example, are connected to the beige one on the outside. And then again, the second split is connected to the plug at the rear there as well. So I know that just on this particular car, these two plugs should contain all of the wires that are coming there. So just familiarise yourself before you start taking these apart, and make sure you've identified which plug is for your wing mirrors and which is the actual door loom plugs. So do that, and then we can focus at getting these off once you've identified them. So as you can see, these are the two connectors that I identified, which are part of my door loom. The black one in the centre there is my wing mirror loom. So these are the two that are going to be ready to fed back up through that hole and back through the chassis of the car and back through into the door. So now ready to start pulling these through. Just before you do that, on the inside of the door there, so you've got another one of the cable tie connectors with the little arrowhead. Just squeeze the arrowhead together and undo that, and then we can start to manipulate the cables. So what you want to do is manipulate the cable on the one side, and as you obviously you pull it, you'll kind of feel the cables and will want to go kind of up through the hole. So what you want to do is just kind of slowly just feed it through, really. There's no kind of a quick way of doing it. Just inch by inch, make sure your cables aren't getting caught up anywhere. And then just feed them through. And once you're ready to actually feed the main plugs, make sure they're completely inside the body of the chassis of the car. And again, just keep feeding it through. You kind of feel when it's right. If it doesn't feel right, just stop, try and release the pressure and come back. So here we can see the first connectors worked his way through. The beige one's ever so slightly shorter than the red one. So again, it's just kind of a bit of a juggling game, and just kind of take your time with it really. I'm not going to get you to sit here for 5-10 minutes and watch me do this. But if, you know, like I said, just take your time with it. You can see half an inch at a time, and it will slowly come. Yeah, I think the red plug's just about to make its appearance there as well. Yeah, here it comes. So there's the red one as well. So I'm going to do this exactly the same thing on the next stage. I'm just going to feed these two through into the body of the car, and then it will be free. That is it. That is your door card wiring loom, completely free from the car and good to go.